Hey YouTube! So this is continuation of my discussion of oceanfront living, and right now we're passing the district of Plaisance at its ocean side.
Oh, this is my day. I'm ready to take it on, come what may.
And so what we've seen so far is that mangrove trees have been planted along the coast to prevent beach erosion. But what is interesting, as we've discovered, is that these homes have been built right up against seawall, and that presents some issues. One of them is disposal of garbage. So people who live close to the ocean, and particularly people who are not really being monitored, where there's no regulation for disposal of garbage, tend to just dump their garbage over the wall. And that means plastic bottles, household garbage, yard waste, industrial waste. You know, mechanics dump their oil and their broken parts or tires over the wall, and it builds up. So not only does it build up, it floats away into the ocean at high tide. So these are the communities that are in fact located close to the ocean. And while I don't want to single out and blame these communities for dumping garbage in the ocean, because it's a global problem occurring everywhere in the world, it is an example of what's happening right here in Guyana. This is a pumping station. It pumps water over the wall to prevent flooding, especially when it rains in this community. Here you have coconuts being sacrificed in some kind of Hindu rite, being left here in the ocean. And this is a garbage pile at the end of one of the streets in this community. So it seems everybody comes to the end of the street and simply dumps their garbage. So from time to time, I guess somebody lights a fire and tries to burn it, but it leaves garbage on the ocean side of the wall in these neighborhoods. And it's a problem that has to be addressed. So it has to be addressed by proper regulation as well as adequate garbage disposal facilities in the community, as well as education. Here's another pile of garbage is hidden by these mangrove trees. You see birds nesting and feeding off of it. The problem, of course, is that seabirds inadvertently eat plastic. Plastic ends up in their digestive tract, and after a time the plastic kills the birds. This is the water station, a pumping facility for the community. So this is a huge water storage tank, and their electric pumps running, and as well as diesel pumps running all the time to keep the community supplied with water. And some of these residents have their own water system where they pump water up to the roof of their homes. So the water tanks on the roof of the houses is also one of the ways in which these communities deal with water. These are the ubiquitous coconut trees that are part of this community. As you can see, there have been efforts in the past to augment the seawall by dumping huge boulders on the seaside of the wall, as well as planting mangrove trees. What's happened in this location is probably one of those coconuts that were sacrificed to the gods, ended up taking root and growing between the rocks. But this is what is happening at the ocean. Now, these are oceanfront communities. Anywhere else in the world, this would be prime land for building resorts and condominiums, hotels. These oceanfront properties are owned by ordinary people who don't really appreciate the value of living with the ocean as your neighbor. Comes with some responsibilities, and one important responsibility is to protect the ocean, not just for yourself, but for all of humanity. And so there is need for a lot of education, especially in these communities that live along the ocean, along the coast. Education about the effects of ocean pollution, dumping garbage into the ocean, but also supported by facilities to take care of the disposal of garbage in these communities. Morning. What's the name of this district? Better Hope. Good. Thanks. Okay, so this is the district of Better Hope. That is east of Plaisance, and it's about 3.5 miles, 4 miles outside of Georgetown. Let's say from Vicinjan Road to this point. Share this video on other social media platforms. Later!